Hi there, it's time for Filecoin Wyckoff check again. And this time we're going to look at whether Filecoin has finally bottomed out from the recent deep level test of paper hands and diamond hands. If you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key items I'll cover during the session. And I'm not a financial advisor. These sessions are for research and education purpose only, and also for discussion with you, the asset tech community. So let's get started. Here we're looking at the weekly chart of Filecoin, and after last week testing the support level, meaning the same level that has been tested by November 3rd, it eventually stayed above this support line, and this week we see a little bit of price climb from that point. And both last week and this week we see slightly higher volume than the previous weeks, so just a bit higher. It's slowly recovering, so hopefully if this trend continues, more volume, meaning higher or taller volume bars, will come, the white ones. Alright, so after the test, what we hope to see in terms of Wyckoff stages is that it at least head towards the sign of strength. Alright, that's assuming what we have seen just now is just a basic test, not a spring. So in the case of a spring, sometimes it just goes straight to another distribution cycle. It looks something similar to this one. Or if we go further left, back to October 2023, after a period of sideways trading at the bottom, it starts to climb towards the next distribution cycle. Of course, it's a bit challenging at this risky moment where all the money, or a large part of the money, have flocked to gold and silver, hoping to see something like what happened in early 2024. We can wish for that, but the chance is we may get something similar to what happened to late 2024. That's a more likely scenario. Until the point the central banks around the world starts to print a whole lot of money, then we would go back to something like early 2024 or even something earlier. Alright, so for Filecoin, that's something we would like to, as a first step, see it challenge at least the orange key level of 3.15, because that's the level where the automatic rally landed upon. Okay, and when we get to the daily chart, we clearly see that the date we previously talked about, that around Christmas time, there should be a chance that the price eventually or finally breaks outside of the downtrend. Okay, so on the 18th, before our session, our last session was on the 21st, where it came down. So it tested, slightly lower than this support level, that was set by November 4th. All right, and eventually it did a fake dive on exactly the Christmas day. However, if you look at the volume, it was actually very low, both 24th and 25th. So those fake dive led to the subsequent 3 days of climb. The volume isn't that crazy, today, yesterday, and the day before. It actually got some rejection from the support line or the resistance line back then as well during Boxing Day. But eventually yesterday and today, it finally confirmed that it has edged outside of the downtrend. So while the volume remains weak, be cautious that while we hope for it to stay or sideways trade between these two white dashed lines, there is a slight chance for it to redevelop into a downtrend. Not something that is of a high chance, but there's still a possibility, looking at what happened last week. All right, it's still going to fluctuate a little, and hopefully when confidence continue to build up and this white volume bars continue to get taller and taller, it will stabilize above this white dash line. So that's around 1.27 to 1.28. All right, that's the first line. Let me see. Yeah, I might have duplicated it. This is what not what I want to do. I just want to, yeah, that's what I want to do. So assuming range bound somewhere between 1.2 to 1.5. So I said it may come test this level one more time. So I shouldn't draw a line here because it was just a very brief test to the bottom, but for you to follow easier, these are the two levels, 1.2 all the way to 1.5. That's probably where the following few days is going to play around. All right. So in the bigger picture, what we hope to see is continue price climb to a level at least above this white solid line. That's around $2.3, and it may range bound a couple of times between this and the red key level of 2.65 before it comes to challenge 3.15 or even 3.6. That's where this during early November, that sign of strength tested. All right. Hopefully we'll get to see some better picture in 2026, especially in the start of 2026 for Filecoin. That's all for now. Thanks for joining me. See you in the VET, the VeChain session.